Good morning, viewers of the world. It's August, late August, and I thought I might show a little secret I've discovered for making sugar solution to feed to bees in August or maybe in spring. The general rule is, as we all know, at this time of year, August going into winter, it's 2-to-1 solution. In the spring, it's usually 1-to-1 solution. I'll talk through that later. This is a really simple method that I discovered yesterday, and I highly recommend it. So the gist is this: 1 bucket and some sugar. Now the real benefit is there's no measuring involved in this, so it's just tipping the sugar. It can be 1 bag of sugar, 2 bags of sugar, 10 bags of sugar, a lorry load of sugar, irrelevant. It's just a quantity of sugar. Bought this from Costco. It cost about 55p a kilo, just so you know. So I'm going to tip 2 bags in there on this occasion. Give it a shake, and you can see we're up to about that far from the top. What's that, 1.5 inches? Doesn't matter. Here's some recently boiled water. I'm going to remember that 1.5 inches. I'm just going to tip water in, give it a stir, tip a bit more in, until our final solution is also 1.5 inches from the top. And essentially that's it. Now, because the water's hot just from the kettle, this is going to take 2 or 3 minutes only to stir, and then essentially that is it. So I might end up speeding up the video, but I can assure you this is a 2 or 3 minute job, and suddenly it's done. Okay, join me 2, maybe 3 minutes later, and you'll note that the level of the water is pretty much exactly the same level as where the sugar was. Also, you'll note that I can now see the bottom of the spoon in the bottom when I'm stirring. So that's enough stirring, and that essentially is it. Now clearly that needs to cool down before you pop it on the hive. Maybe leave it overnight or most of the day. Also, top tip, if you want to make that into a 1-to-1 solution, simple, tip half of that into there and then top it back up with cold water. Give it a stir, and that's it. Happy beekeeping. Just a quick note, at the end of the video I mentioned tipping half from there into there and filling it with water. Wouldn't fill it to the same level if you want it to be exactly 1-to-1. For me, I don't mind too much. I'd fill it up to about the same level, but if you want it to be technically 1-to-1, you need to come a bit lower than that, so split the difference, if that makes sense. Best wishes.